Welcome to Dad's Geek. A geek's gotta eat, and we're gonna show you, from a veteran of meat cutting, how to properly cut a ribeye steak. This is Dad's Geek's neighbor. This is geeky stuff, because you gotta have the right geek fuel. All right, Dean, so what do we have here?
You have a half of a ribeye, or 3/4 of a ribeye. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this cow fat off right here.
All right.
That way you don't have to.
Now everybody says all the flavors in the fat, so
Well,
why do you cut this piece off?
I just don't, I want you to be able to have your flavor to where you don't. See how thick that is?
Yeah.
That's not edible.
This is too much.
That's always cut off before you even buy your steak in the store. That cow fat's cut off. And this fat that runs on the bottom here, we're gonna leave all that to where your steak won't be dry. Make your steak moist. Unless your wife's cooking it and she overcooks it.
So how long you been cutting meat?
Too long.
How many years?
40.
40 years.
Okay, now what we need to decide on, Ryan,
Alright.
is how thick you want these things, and we can see how many we can get out of it. That is a good serving size.
I think that's good.
That's
yeah,
about
if you go too
3/4.
thick, then I end up over.
That's 3/4, okay?
Alright.
Well, maybe 13 steaks. 13 steaks for $90 is a damn good deal.
So it's always a better deal to buy it in bulk instead of getting individual
It's cheaper.
steaks?
It's cheaper.
Okay.
If they got them on sale.
Is the flavor better generally? If you get it in whole, does it matter if somebody else cuts it?
No.
Okay.
But what I like to do with mine, what I'm going to do with mine, I'm going to open mine up and let it sit in the refrigerator just like this for 2 weeks to get some age on it.
Really?
Yeah. Just like it's hanging in the meat cooler.
So you don't put it in the freezer, you just put it in the
refrigerator, just like a meat cooler.
Uh-huh.
And when they get the whole ribs and all their beef back when we had swinging beef, this ribeye right here could probably stay in the cooler with the fat on it and cow and bone and all, anywhere from 3 weeks to 4 weeks.
No kidding.
Depending on how cold temperature the coolers are. And what that does, that gives you the aging on it and makes your steak flavor a lot better and tender.
Nice. Okay. Now, how long do you set your steaks out before you start grilling?
If they're frozen,
Yeah.
set it out in the morning. You set it in the refrigerator. In about 2 hours before you get ready to cook them, set them out.
Gotcha. All right.
Let's get them something to set them on. That steak right there in the restaurant. If you sit down and eat with a baked potato and a salad, you're talking a $20 plate.
Yep. Easy. Now, is there any special way you're cutting this as far as going against
What
the
I'm
grain?
trying to do, no, I'm not going against it. What I'm doing is cutting an even cut, ease cut, instead of pulling my knife and jagging it. I'm cutting it smooth. That way you got an even steak and it's not pinching the meat or anything.
All right. Let me get up in
You gotta have a sharp knife to cut with, start with. It makes a world of difference.
You know, I got all junky knives, but it is Father's Day.
Well, what's gonna happen when I have a yard sale? You'll be able to buy you a nice set of knives.
All right, that sounds good.
And the cost of doing this is the payment of 1 cold beer.
Oh, that's right. You can't be cutting steaks without beer.
I can't take it right now because I just.
Yeah, but we need to get that prepared. I mean, but you know, we got that Yankee beer.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to be converted, I guess.
You gotta have a good beer. Man, that is beautifully marbled. Look at that.
Well, see, that's what makes your steak tender.
Yeah.
And if they was to grade this steak here at the packing house now, if it was whole, and the grader would grade this prime, and would cost you anywhere from $4 to $5 more per pound. And sometimes those graders, they're government graders, and then they're in-house graders, but they get paid big money, and they'll grade stuff that's really not good choice beef prime because they get money in their pocketbook.
Yep.
We don't know nothing about that though.
So when you go to the grocery store, because you've been doing this for so long, you can tell when they're trying to cheat you a little bit, can't you?
Oh yeah. How about it, Jackie? What do you think, hon?
Looks beautiful.
Man, that's a man that knows how to handle steak.
You can cuss me, you can do anything you want to, but you can't beat my meat.
That's right. He knows how to handle his meat.
That's the word. 2, 4, 6, 8. You got $150 worth of meat right there now.
That's incredible. Absolutely beautiful.
Man, see how this is running. I might get 2 more out of them. They might not be as thick as that. Let me do it this way where I can get an even cut. Now what I'm going to do this last one, these last 2, I'm not cutting them all the way through. I'm butterflying it to where I can get that extra steak I'm wanting. That way it gave me something to hold to. It's a little thin on one side for the simple reason it wasn't a little square cut, it was like that.
Wow. Yeah.
And I didn't want
We'll
to
cook those for dinner tonight.
I didn't want to throw them in the hamburger. So what you do is the one that has the small cut like that, you cook it half the distance, but when you feel like you're a man and can eat 2 steaks, you take this one and
Gotcha.
cook it with the others.
Gotcha.
So you really
When I'm
got
feeling extra manly.
Right.
Yeah.
Feel like a good night in the bed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 steaks.
Man.
With one, this right here, if it had been broken right, it would have been like that on both sides. But instead, it got it right here and it tapered down because when they done it, they did not break it right. Because those are even cut steaks.
Gotcha. That's
And that's
beautiful.
it, buddy.
So what's your favorite seasoning for a good steak?
Salt and pepper.
Just salt and pepper. Make it simple. And what kind of knife do you use?
The sharpest one I got.
Is it German steel, Japanese steel?
The German people have some of the best metal in knives that you can get.
Take a look at this
Go to
beautiful.
the German brand knife. And they'll cost you. You'll pay anywhere from a knife like this, German steel costs you probably 80 to 100 bucks.
Yeah, because there's a lot of places that say, oh, we got German steel for $15, and you know it's
Well,
just cheap.
Get your other knives out and I'll put an edge back on them again.
Alright.
But these damn Yankees think their stuff is the best, and these chefs don't know the best knives. They're cooks.
Yeah,
They're damn cooks.
yeah.
You don't ask the plumber which is the best screwdriver. You ask him who sells the best plumbing supplies.
That's true.
But when you want a good knife, you go to a cutlery shop, and they'll try to sell you anything and everything, tell them you want the best he's got in German steel. You'll pay out the yang for it, but you get the best bang for your buck. It's not junk.
Right. All right,
This is
show us
the
how to put some edge
This
on
is the
steel.
knife that Jackie's going to cut Ryan's throat with if he gets out of line. You ain't that right? You take your knife, and the knife itself is thick on the top part and it thins. Well, if you take your knife and let it set to feel how it's laying, just lay it up on the knife itself, lay it on the steel, and you see how I got it laying? It's laying to where that sharp edge is touching, and that's not, right? It's
Right.
laying flat. In order to steal it, you got to do that way. If you don't, you're going to roll your blade. What I mean by rolling your blade, it's going to go this way, back and forth. This way, when you do it like that,
You're just setting it on
it
the
just keeps it smooth, and it'll bring it right back in.
Nice.
And don't try this at home. If you don't know what you're doing, you'll cut your thumb open.
Nice.
Hear the sound?
Yeah.
It's going.
Yep.
That's the difference in going.
Right. You want that
Wrong.
sling.
You want to hear it sing to you.
Nice.
When you hear it do that, you know you're doing good. You're doing it right.
Good advice right there.
Even your little knives.
Wow. That sounds way different than how I've been doing it.
I'm going to show you the proper way. Your high got the same sound but a different tone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Are you happy with your steaks then?
I am very happy with my steaks. Thank you very much, Dean.
Money for you.
Thank you for getting them and for cutting them for us.
Next time you'll cut it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would have dragged my blade. That's the biggest mistake that I saw. I generally make is I would drag it across there.
Let me do it.
Yeah, and that's why yours is so much cleaner. Generally, when I'm cutting them, they're kind of torn because I'm dragging.
It's like that rib roast you cut, look like you stuck dynamite in it. Boom!
You gotta kill it somehow.
The cook did awesome.
So it tasted good.
Oh,
It just looked like a dynamite stick went off.
You hear the whinging?
Mm-hmm.
When you got it doing that, son, you're doing it right. There you go.
Nice.
Feel the difference?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Now I can cut. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dean, for showing us how to properly cut a steak
You welcome,
on
Ryan.
Father's Day, nonetheless.
Yeah. Maybe
look.
looks like he needs it.
Look, how's that?
That's great. That's great.
This looks
And
good.
good luck with your steaks. Don't burn them.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper. Let them go and don't let your wife cook them. Because she'll be on the cell phone and you know what'll happen.
Yep.
You're kidding me. She's going to turn her back. And then all of a sudden when she turns back around, it looks like the house is on fire.
I'll be talking to your wife.
Yeah, that's what they do. They get to gabbing and never stop.
But anyway, you've got it now.
Right.
We'll do another lesson next time. And then, or either the next time I'll cut 2 off and you can cut the rest.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Okay?
Dean.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, man. You're welcome.
Don't get subscribed. Does not like the video.